The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
It's time for a crunch or two. It's time for a little something something. It's time for the Snack Authority. The Snack Authority. The authority on snacks. Snacks of all kinds. From the most common and wildly famous to the most obscure and unknown. The Snack Authority. Snacking all the time so you don't have to.
Pop.
Thanks. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Snack Authority, broadcasting live from the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. The Snack Authority is a weekly podcast where we discuss the history, taste, and flavor of local snacks, national favorites, and yes, even some bizarre international treats alone or in head-to-head battles to see who wins. I am Jess, and with me is the panel of snacking experts. We have Ed.
Hello.
Hello. Mikey.
What up?
And Dave stepped out, and Pat sneaked in.
I did.
He's back for more snacks. Hey, Pat.
Hello. But he doesn't have the special shirt. You know, if he's going to be coming here frequently, we got to work on the special shirt.
Well, this was sort of like a
last
dip.
minute.
Yeah, a diff slide.
I just flew in.
Dave's trying to be good.
He saw what we were
gotta
snacking
support him.
on, and he's like, I must.
I must have
I
it.
must have it.
All right.
So today, what are we snacking on?
Well, we are snacking on the iconic Kit Kat
Right here.
in 3 variations.
I dig it.
You know, we decided we'd put the original in there because we need a basis for our comparison.
Of course.
Nothing wrong with classics.
And then we've got, and I'll put the camera up so you can show those
Sure.
off, Jess. Then we've got,
Classic.
yep, there's the classic Kit Kat that
Everybody loves
people
Everybody
know
knows and
and
loves.
love. Then we've got the Kit Kat Duos.
So fancy. This is mint in dark
So
chocolate.
the newer ones you guys
So-
are talking about, right?
Regular Kit Kat, the duos, which is dark chocolate and mint.
Basically an Andy's candy with a cookie in the middle.
Andy's candy.
Andy's Candy.
Candy.
Finally, we've got the Kit Kat Ruby.
So this one is the one
Contraband.
that we can't get yet because I've already tried to hunt it
You
down.
can't get those in this country.
That just tells me that
And the
Ed Sullivan
ingredients
has
are
a
in German.
Amazon UK.
I don't pronounce German as well as I think I do, apparently. But
Oh.
it's beautiful.
I
It
love
really
when
does
you
look
talk
like that.
German, Jess.
Das Boot. Doesn't that mean-
Das Booty.
Isn't that beer or trunk or something?
The boat.
The boat.
See?
Was close. Good job, Pat.
Pat knows. Pat, were you in the big one, WW2?
No, one.
So, Jess, while you're opening that up,
Yep.
I'll talk a little bit about the origins of what is now known as Kit Kat.
This is exciting because I never knew.
It goes back to 1911 when a company called Roundtrees, they were a confectionery company based in York in the UK, trademarked the terms Kit Kat with a C and Kit Kat with a K.
Okay.
The original 4-finger bar was developed after a worker at Roundtree's factory put a suggestion in a recommendation box for a snack that a man could take to work in his pack.
I dig it.
The bar launched on the 29th of August, 1935, under the title of Roundtree's Chocolate Crisp, and was sold in London and throughout southern England. Roundtree's Chocolate Crisp was renamed to Kit Kat Chocolate Crisp in 1937. Now, here's the interesting thing about the original Kit Kat.
Mm-hmm.
The Hershey Company had got a license to produce Kit Kat bars in the United States in 1970.
Okay.
However, Nestle bought Roundtree,
Oh,
yeah, in 1988.
No, Nestle's got a couple of different areas. They're like Canada and somewhere in the UK, right?
Well, Nestle owns the Kit Kat brand. However, they still had to honor the contract that Nestle is the maker in the United States.
Hershey.
So,
Yeah.
Hershey. So outside of the U.S., Nestle makes all the Kit Kats.
Nothing personal, Hershey, but I do kind of like Nestle's chocolate a little more.
I love
And
Hershey.
a Kit Kat is one of Hershey's top 5 brands in the
Yeah.
U.S. market. So, you know, Hershey tried to put itself up for sale in 2002.
What?
And
Sacrilege.
there was, some controversy about people not wanting to do it because
Because
Nestle has the license to Kit Kat. I couldn't find when that or if that may expire at some point.
Now, would somebody like Nestle be able to buy Hershey? Because wouldn't they have sort of like a almost monopoly? Because the only other competition would be Mars, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure that one's gonna happen.
well, because I'm seeing on the Kit Kat Duos, I only have half a wrapper now because I'm giving them out. The Kit Kat Duos have the Hershey's logo on it, and so do the regular Kit Kats.
I noticed Ruby
but
has
the
Utz on the back.
Ruby has Nestle on it.
Yeah, because that's made outside of the U.S.
It's just bananas, hence the German ingredients.
Yeah, I mean, these flavors of Kit Kats didn't really appear until 1996.
That
when-
late?
Wow, that mint
Yeah,
is
when the
strong.
Kit Kat Orange was introduced in the UK. And one of these interesting things, and Mikey will know this, in 2013, Google announced that version 4.4 would be named Kit Kat. Google licensed the name from Nestle because they own the actual name.
Yeah.
But no money changed hands.
Well, that's good.
No, 'cause
Let's keep it friendly.
nobody really even pays attention to the releases, anyways.
The funny thing is that according to Hershey, Kit Kat is 2 words. In other countries like Japan, it's written as 1 word. So they can't even come to terms with whether Kit Kat is 2 words
Oh.
or 1.
I'd say.
Yeah, why don't we get a close up of the different colors of these bars so that the people can see what this
Yeah,
Ruby
Pat,
looks like?
my Ruby,
Shattered.
not shattered, but it's in more pieces than it should be. So right here, we're looking at the Ruby. So it is like this. It's kind of
Mauve?
like a. No, I don't know. Would you call that mauve?
Oh,
It's like a dusty rose color. It's
Oh, I
really
like
pretty.
yeah, the other
Dusty
color I
rose.
used to call that as a kid is puke pink.
It's not puke pink. It's actually quite pretty. This one is the Duos. So you're looking at from the side. It's basically an Andes mint. You're looking at mint on the top. Looks like it's floating in white chocolate, and then dark chocolate on the bottom. You guys get that? Pretty.
Pretty.
And then yay, regular Kit Kat. Everybody knows what these look like. I hope.
Kind of brown.
Kind of chocolatey looking. But that Ruby one is quite pretty.
Yeah, ruby isn't really the right word for it, color-wise.
I
No.
wouldn't have called it Ruby, but I don't
No.
think pinky chocolate. It doesn't
Well,
sound
the
as
bean
cute.
itself might actually be darker.
Dusty
You know?
Rose.
Dusty rose.
Dusty Rose.
All right, then. Are we going to try these rubies?
I think we
Yes.
should. I think we should.
And I'll tell you a little bit about ruby chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it can't be called chocolate in the U.S. at this point. The FDA, the FDA has that under review.
They're going
as
to take their
to
time.
Whether or not it can be called chocolate. According to the manufacturer of Ruby, it's the 4th natural type of chocolate, along with dark milk and white, and the first new variety to be introduced since white first appeared 80 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They say the resulting chocolate is very different from what you'd find. Normally, it's got a distinctive pink hue, and the taste is described as intense yet smooth and berry-like.
I'm going to level with you. This still tastes exactly like port wine cheese to me.
I don't get any berry. I'm getting a lot of butter taste, though, from the cookie.
Butter, smooth, very smooth.
Yeah,
Very
Port wine
smooth.
cheese?
No, not wine cheese, but smooth, very smooth.
You get a little bit of a tart bite on the side of the tongue, but
Yeah, I get the berry on it.
you can see it, but the butter's really walking it out on me.
I'm telling you, man. If anybody listening or watching has tried this or will try it, email me if you taste port wine cheese, because nobody else is getting it, and it tastes exactly like port wine cheese.
What you have at
I like
breakfast?
cheese.
I didn't eat breakfast. I have a clean palate.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Thought you might have port wine with cheese for breakfast.
No. Well, it's a good idea.
Now, ruby chocolate really just came to the U.S.
When was
well,
it? Was
like
it
a couple weeks ago?
trade show?
Mm.
Yeah, they announced it at the Snack and Sweets, or the Sweets and Snacks Expo, and it was introduced at a private chef-led event
Mm-hmm.
in Miami on May 20th. So it's been available outside of the U.S. for some time, which is
Right.
why there already are products outside the U.S.
Right.
But the owner of this chocolate is a company called Callebaut. Originally, they were from Belgium, but they merged with another company. They're in Switzerland now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really sell direct to consumer. They make chocolate that the big companies buy and used to create products from.
Okay.
So they are just starting to get this into North America, and we'll see what kind of products come out.
I mean, there's still a lot of controversy over whether or not white chocolate is actually chocolate.
And I'm sure this will be,
Same
and it
controversy.
is as controversial. You know,
Oh.
there's talk that, you know, it's got these myths associated with it, like cigars, for example. You know, these are newly discovered beans that people didn't know about before. Others say, well, they're actually just under fermented beans. So
It's probably a strain
Oh.
of cocoa bean that nobody used because it made a red chocolate, and everybody associates chocolate with brown.
yeah, it's unclear because they're not sharing their process for creating this chocolate right now. Only
I
the
wouldn't
one
have either.
company has it.
If you found a new type of chocolate, and the world being what we are, loving our chocolate, I wouldn't share my info. I'd be like, you want it? Talk to me.
Really?
Really, really.
Jess, you're tough.
I know, I'm a tough cookie.
Yeah, why
Snack
not? If
time.
you get a moneymaker,
Sorry.
don't let it leak.
All right, I'm just going to dig into the regular Kit Kat
All right.
while we're chatting, because everybody knows what these taste like, and they're delicious.
Now, it goes all the way back to 1937 in the Kit Kat advertising that they started to incorporate the word break into their
Seriously?
advertising. But this particular commercial comes from 1988 and may be familiar to people.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. You can keep it to yourself, but it wouldn't be fair, 'cause that chocolate crispy taste is loved everywhere. So give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
I'm going to take one hot second to just ask Pat a quick question.
Yep.
I know why my Kit Kat is broken in half. My two pieces together that I broke off the bar are broken, so I ate the two little top parts. Did you bite a set of two Kit Kats?
No, I broke it, and that's how it broke.
Okay, so
Why?
that was an accident. Because
No,
I've watched monsters take a full, like, pan flute of Kit Kats and take a bite.
Two different sides, one bite.
You did.
One-
You did that.
Yeah.
Oh, shame.
Why?
Yeah, I mean,
It all ends up in the same spot.
I think
It goes all the. It's all going
don't
down
know
the
why, but
same
it-
place.
It hurts my heart a little bit. I'm twitching.
if you don't
Sorry.
break the fingers off and just bite into it, I think it's a sign of mental instability.
No,
really
I
would
didn't bite
not-
into it. I broke it. Now this one I broke normally because it's a regular Kit Kat. I wanted
Oh,
to do
tradition.
something new, something different.
But you,
Oh, for
you
the
bit,
Ruby.
You bit into two segments at the same time.
Yes, and guess what? They both taste the same.
Sorry,
Well,
had to ask.
Could I potentially make a Kit Kat duo by taking, you know, a Ruby and a regular and put them side by each, as they say down in Woonsocket,
Stack 'em.
Rhode Island,
Side by
know what?
each.
and bite into them?
You know what? That'd be it.
You know what?
Wait a minute.
Pat's
We're gonna do it.
As long as they weren't connected.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese and chocolate.
It's all right. I don't get cheese. I do notice there's a lot more of a butter taste in the imported one,
He's really
the
like,
Ruby.
he's
It's
in
really,
this.
yeah, it's good. They should actually come out with
Ruby milk chocolate
Ruby
duos.
milk chocolate duo.
That's an idea.
There's an idea for us, huh?
We call it
I
the
dig
rocket.
this. Oh, gee whiz.
So, on the Kit Kat duos, you know, it's a mashup of two flavors, which seem to be a trend in the snacking industry.
I'd say.
Dark chocolate and mint. They're not scheduled to be on retailer shelves until December. And part of that is mint is a big Christmas holidays kind of flavor. So I think
Yeah.
they may be holding it to launch at a time of year where it will be popular. This is the first duos to come to the United States and the first permanent Kit Kat flavor in almost a decade.
That's a long time for them not to have changed things. I mean, they're
No.
not doing it wrong, so I can't imagine why they would need to change it.
There have been duos overseas for quite some time, particularly in Japan, because Kit Kat is big in Japan. It's almost an obsession. You'll see
Really?
whole displays of just Kit Kats of various flavors. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, we might all have to go to Japan and do some research.
I would happily
No thanks.
go and do Kit Kat
All right,
research anywhere.
Mikey's staying home.
I have no ambition to leave this country unless you want to go on a whiskey tour of Ireland.
No, that's not this show. You'll have to talk to somebody else. So
They get pretzels.
here's where we're at. I think we've tried 2 out of 3.
I already tried third. Sorry.
I've done 3.
I've done 3.
Oh, well, I'm behind because I'm talking.
Yeah. I mean, they all look like a Kit Kat. They all taste like a Kit Kat. It's just
The ruby tastes different to me.
all the flavors aren't exactly what you'd expect from a Kit Kat, but it tastes like chocolate. I mean, it's chocolate-ish with looking at the milk chocolate being the baseline. I like the flavor of a Kit Kat. I feel like it's appropriate. I feel like when I take a bite and you have that crispy center, it's supposed to have milk chocolate and it's supposed to be the Kit Kat flavor. For what they're coming out, I'm not disappointed, but I will say the mint to me, there's something about that crunch in the middle that makes it a little awkward because it does taste a little bit like kind of an artificially flavored, more artificially flavored Andes.
When I bit into it, I was looking for some type of check I had to pay. Honest.
Reminds me of peppermint patty without
Yeah.
the crunch.
Oh, yep. The Yorks.
So, yeah, the Yorks.
It's like peppermint. It's basically, but when I see green, I assume spearmint or wintergreen. Not a huge, not
I'm
my
not a
favorite.
minty kind of
Yeah,
person.
me
Yeah.
Hey, it's
So.
good, but it's,
Well, why don't I do a little snack news while everybody contemplates
Yeah, I
their
think
favorites?
we best.
We best do that.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a new Reese's chocolate bar coming out. Not a cup, a bar.
Like a fast break?
Well, Reese's has a collaboration with Take 5. Do you remember the Take 5?
really?
Those are
candy bar?
delicious. Those are delicious.
Hershey's is behind both of the candies. They debuted this new treat at the Sweets and Snacks Expo.
Okay.
The Take 5 is chocolate, peanut butter, pretzels, and caramel with peanuts as well.
Okay.
You know, it's 5 layers.
Mm-hmm.
You got your chocolate, you got your peanut butter, you got your pretzels, caramel, and then some actual peanuts.
I dig it.
Now, it seems a little confusing because the Reese's Take 5 is the exact same ingredients.
But they
So-
use
Well, the speculation is perhaps the proportions are different to make it more Reese's-like, but
well, let's just be honest. They're just marketing a new product and calling it new.
Well-
So people can buy both.
yeah, I've ended this news story with maybe the ratios changed or this is just a marketing thing.
I think it's marketing. They're not stupid.
I mean, maybe we should
They'll
try
probably sell
both.
twice as much because people will buy both of them instead of just one.
And that may be a future show where we've got to get to the bottom of this.
Mhm.
We do. One chew at a time.
One chew at a time. So, the other thing, as I mentioned earlier, is the launching of Ruby Chocolate in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And the company is actually, the full name is Barry Callebaut. And, you know, they say it was fueled by overwhelming consumer response around the globe. They collaborated with a small group of pioneering artisans during the past 6 months to soft launch in the U.S. marketplace. The sales of those consumer products have been very strong. I think might have been Trader Joe's had a product that they were using the Ruby on.
Okay.
As a result, to help ensure our business partners have access to the product, we feel now is the time to take the next step in our global rollout campaign
Mm-hmm.
and introduce Ruby to the entire North American market.
This is exciting.
Yeah, we're going to see more Ruby stuff coming out, which will give
Do you think
us...
there's going to be a Ruby peanut butter cup? Oh, yeah, you already talked about that.
Listen, if it was up to me, I'd make Ruby slippers, you know, little slipper shapes made of Ruby chocolate.
I'm going to level with you. I love you so much right now. Oh, that was
mean,
cute. But,
I
like,
don't know if we'd have to license that, but
Ruby kisses?
I could see Ruby Kisses for sure.
Ruby.
Ruby necklaces.
Ruby Swedish fish.
Sweet. Yeah.
Ruby rings, you can just bite
Yep.
the jewel right off that ring.
Oh, I would. I love
Yeah.
those.
A lot going on.
So-
All right, we better wrap up, Jess.
I have my list. Do you have your list?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, I'm first.
If you want to be.
I'm sure. I don't know that if I only can have one of these, that's the way I'll look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I would eat any of them.
Correct.
I would only buy 2 of them. I
Ooh.
wouldn't buy the duo for myself because I'm not a minty guy.
Yep.
I'd buy the Ruby, if I was in the mood for something that really, it doesn't profile like chocolate to me. You can call it chocolate, and to be fair, I say the same thing about white chocolate. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm
Not
not
gonna
big
choose
on
it.
calling it chocolate.
The only reason they call it chocolate is because it uses cocoa butter, right?
Yeah. So I'm still going to have to stick with the original, followed by the Ruby, and then the duo.
You and I are on the same page once again.
Whoa.
Make that 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Ruby, I think, would be something different type of bar or something. It's not a
Yeah.
Kit Kat.
Yeah, us as American are just too
Yeah.
used to the original Kit Kat. So you change up something that's good. It's like
Yeah.
saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And I think that may be the way for people to go, is create something new out of the
Right.
new
Yeah.
product. Don't just try to revamp what you have.
Yeah.
Tastes like cheese.
Yeah. I'm going to have to say I'm going to actually end up, it was kind of tough because I did like the taste of the actual cookie in the Ruby one. It had a lot more of a butter component to it. Chocolate was smoother. But I'm still going to have to go Kit Kat, Ruby, and Duo. Just because I like the original Kit Kat.
Original
I'm
Ruby
just-
and Duo.
Yeah.
That's a sweep.
Wow. I did not expect it, but here we are nonetheless.
It's incredible. We've never all really agreed on anything.
No.
I'm sure Dave would have been different had he been here.
Without a doubt. Which is why we ate all of them.
Exactly.
I think Dave would have went the same. Kit Kat, Ruby.
And didn't like the mint? Maybe
Yeah.
I'll sneak up on them with Kit Kats later. Surprise snack tasting. So, if you guys ever have an idea for a snack we should dig into, an idea of what to pair against each other, just let us know. Contact us at thesnackauthority@gmail.com. Let your snack eating friends know about us. Share us, subscribe to us, give us a 5-star rating. This is the Snack Authority. For Pat, Mikey, Ed, Missing Dave, and me, Jess, have a wonderful week. See ya.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.